Jessica sarapan apa?
Aku sarapannya cuma smoothie kayak jus gitu.
Cie, Nadine kangen Lilis. Nadine kapan ke Bali, Din? Hilang dia. Udah menjawab.
Ini kalau is a wife of a man ya.
Tanggal 24 Nadine ke Bali.
24. Wow.
Mantap.
24 Juni ya.
Halo, welcome Isabel.
Halo Kak Gani.
Welcome. Welcome Abam, welcome Belzazar, welcome Giselia, welcome Han, welcome Hanif, welcome Isabella, welcome Lila, welcome Mega, welcome Nadine, welcome Mas Tendi, welcome Tiar, welcome Vera, Didi, Mo, and William. Oh, udah record.
Mantap ini hostnya.
Ya, di absen satu-satu ya. Nih, Abam habis futsal Abam. Wah, kok biru-biru sama kayak gue. Oh, thank you video udah bantu record. Hello, welcome Mr. Zing.
Hey, good morning. This is one of my first all hands this year in Indonesia, so I'm pretty happy to be here.
Nice.
Nice, Gani. Nice. Oh, Gani, are you hosting today?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Who's behind you?
Reza.
Okay, cool. Good stuff.
Okay, I think we can start all hands today. Video already recorded. Thank you very much, Vidi, and welcome everyone to all hands on 14 June to 2022. I will be a host and Jessica be moderator. Now I will share one of my inspiration, but this is more like into a self introspeksi diri about myself, but I think it is important to be shared to become a reminder to everyone, especially new Piston and Piston that will join in Bukit Vista. So this is it's from my personal. Okay, so I feel like I have a lot of goals, but I have a trouble to make it come true. So how do I accomplish my goals? Okay, and then first I need to learn how to understand the difference between a goal or a wish. Okay, so a lot of people feel overshadowed with high expectation. It's simply because most of them are just wishes. Like I saw on the question of the day, like on the personal update, like everyone giving answer like, oh, I want to financial stable, I want to blah 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 blah. That you need to understand first. Is that a goal or is that a wish? So don't feel like overshadowed, don't feel like apa namanya trapped into high expectation. Okay, and then I said previously, and this is one of the example. So for example, I want to be a great cyclist in future, or I want to be a better accountant this year, or I want to be an outstanding designer someday. But you don't have plans, right? It's not really concrete. You will end up frustrated with those high expectation because it's just a wish that never comes true. It's just apa sih, kayak berangan-angan, kayak bercita-cita tapi nggak punya planning. So sometimes it will be dangerous because you will like feel overwhelmed. Nah, then how to make it come true? Okay, so imagine if you have a clear goal, right? So the probability hitting your goal will be higher. Okay, I think this is one of the method that Ara introduced a couple years ago that use to be on our OKR like every month. So I just need to recall reminder to everyone to update your OKR based on this method. So in order to hitting your goal, you need to be smart, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Okay, and for example, it is just me as an example. I want to be a great cyclist in the future, but it is not really concrete. Like it's just like a wish. But how to make it more uh, more uh, more specific, and then let's break down on the smart method. Okay, so let's be more specific. What is the great cyclist looks like? Okay, measurable. How to measure if I already great? What is the component to measure it? And then achievable. Can I make it happen? And then relevant, is this really meaningful right now? And then timely, what exactly I can accomplish this. Okay, so this is very simple, very simple example. And let's answer the breakdown. Okay, so the specific, what is the great cyclist looks like? So for me, a great cyclist means that able to cycling like 100 kilometer in less than 6 hours without feeling too tired, and I want to accomplish this in August
He's a great cyclist.
2022. So uh, if you have another goal, another wishes, just try to like break it down. In this my goal here, in one sentence is, I'm able to make it 4 checklists. Okay, this is I will call I'm a great cyclist if I able to cycling 100 kilometers in less than 6 hours without feeling too tired, and I want to accomplish this on August 2022. So if I'm only able to do one thing only, I'm not great yet. If I doing a third three only, I'm not great yet. So I'm a great if I able to accomplish 4 of them. So this is how I measure I'm great or not. Okay, so uh, achievable. Can I make it happen? Yes, I believe I can make this happen through training, through exercise more, and then relevant. It is really meaningful right now. I think so because cycling is make your body healthier, right, and make you fit. And then timely. I have a specific target, specific deadline. I want to accomplish this on August 2022. So you still have like a plan or 2 months ahead. So I have a preparation, and then I can accomplish this on August. So yeah, that's perfect. Then you have a plan, and then your anxiety will goes away. You will less frustrated because you know what to do in order to achieve your goal, and then you can move forward to set up your planning and then execute it. But the most important things, you able to understand the difference between a fantasy and a target. So remember what you write in your question of the week, what you want to be in 20s. This is related to this inspiration. So let's understand, is this just a fantasy or this a real target? If you want to make it a real target, and then break down into a smart method. Okay, thank you everyone. I will offer to Mr. Zing for the question.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much, everybody. And it's a pleasure to be here today. Gani, I want to give you actually some recognition for starting a new trend. For a very long time on All Hands, we've been actually collecting stories of successful founders, but I think it's gotten to the point where sometimes it can be a bit dry because we're just trying to find inspirational people. Whereas in fact, part of our vision is to actually find inspiration in everyone, and everyone can also include ourselves as well. So I think I really like this idea and this new option that you're giving to future people who will be giving in All Hands. For those who are new to Bukit Vista, the All Hands is something that we share with every single successful candidate that becomes a Vistan or a visitor. So one day you will have the opportunity to speak before the entire company. And when that moment comes, you probably want to see everybody's face. So please, if you are able to, like, you're not paying too much for your Wi-Fi, parents are covering the bill, please just turn on your camera. It's the only one time of the week we get to see everyone. If you're using a tether and you're broke and you can't pay for nasi goreng for lunch, okay, I can understand, maybe save that pulsa, okay? But otherwise, just turn on your camera so that when your time comes to present in front of the company, you get to see people, they get to see you too, okay? All right, fantastic. Thank you, Gani, for taking us in this direction. And I absolutely agree. There is a difference between having a fantasy and having a goal. And here at this company, I want to set goals and not fantasies. Okay. All right, everyone. Let me put it together and take over the screen. I'll be presenting the vision statement for the. Oh, okay. Whoa, I have somebody presenting for me now. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Is it Gani or who do I have to thank for sharing the screen right now? It's Gani. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Gani. Oh, sorry, Gani is actually the other one. I have two links. This is the old link. There's another link over. Yes, that's the right one. That's the right one. It's related to that weird email that I got. Okay, let's go ahead and begin, everyone. So let's talk about what's happening. I'll just go into the bad stuff first because I like to end on good news. So let's talk about some of the weaknesses that we're seeing so far. Next slide. So the key weakness that I've seen this week is undelighted, uninspired owners. I've had personal conversations with each of these owners, and none of them are very happy at this point. This is happening at Rumah Pertama with Justin, Lot 3, and Sunrise House with Claire, Didi's Place with Didi, and also the Kencana Guest House, okay? Now, this is not good news, and I'll go into a little bit more about what their feedback has been. The feedback has been overwhelmingly that there is no quality control over the way that we produce content or the way that we look after our guests. There has been feedback that we are passing problems over to the on-site teams instead of handling the problems ourselves. There's been feedback that we do work that is incompetent, that does not show professionalism. There's also this conflict avoidance. When the owners or other members try to reach us, we avoid the call or we avoid the conflict because we think it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. And the last thing I hear is that we ask for permission rather than lead. We ask people, is it okay to change the price to this number? Is it okay if we do this? When in fact, we are the managers and we should be making these decisions on behalf of an owner, on behalf of a partner, and leading them to the correct decisions, okay? Doesn't mean that we don't ask for feedback, but we need to lead and ask for feedback, all right? I don't go to my employees and ask them, is this salary okay for you this week? Did you get enough money? That would show no leadership at all on my part. I should know what you're worth. I should pay you what you're worth. So similarly, I think our approach to owners can be from a similar position. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I'll explain a little bit more. So what is the root problem that we're dealing here? Well, we want to be trusted to inspire delight. We're transitioning to BB5. And once again, this is a problem because it erodes trust. Now, what's the biggest problem? Why did we get here? How is this situation happening? Well, if we take a look at it, it's really a few factors. We really do not have professional communication with our partners. And I'll show you a few examples of what we do. Next slide, please. We are overwhelmingly reliant on using WhatsApp to communicate with our partners. And if you'll probably remember this, let's say, for example, you need to have surgery or you have a legal case that is pretty important. Would you really want to have a WhatsApp conversation with your surgeon about your liver transplant or something else that is vital to you? Or would you rather them do the best to bring you to their office, show you this information, and give you high context, okay? So the problem right now that we're seeing is that so much of our business conversations and so many of our conversations are just happening across WhatsApp. But it's even worse than that, and let me explain why. So the next thing that we have that's a problem with WhatsApp is on the next slide, that we have not really seriously thought about the communication strategy that we need for partners. So what should the strategy actually include? The strategy should include things like, all right, how many group members are actually in the actual WhatsApp groups? Does there really need to be 10 Bukit Vista members in a WhatsApp group? Do we get bystander effect because people think somebody else is actually going to answer the message whenever a frustrated owner or an on-site staff messages us? So this lack of communication strategy And this constant adding more people into WhatsApp groups is leading to partners to think that we are not competent, that we don't do our job well, that we're unprofessional. When in fact, when I'm in here every day, I see the opposite, but it's just somehow the way we communicate with the partners through these WhatsApp groups is creating this friction. Now, this is my first solution. All right, so next slide. As those of you who might have watched Wolf of Wall Street, the solution is pretty simple. Pick up the phone and call the partner. Whenever you have to decide whether or not to WhatsApp or call, please think of calling first. Calling resolves the issue quickly. It's using the excavator and not using the spoon. No partner wants to have a 3-day discussion on WhatsApp over something that can be solved in a 5-minute phone call. So please find the courage within yourself to just ante up, call the partner, and resolve this correctly. Okay, that is the first thing we can do. Structurally, Bayu and I are now working along with some new interns on creating a more automated and also flawless communication platform so that partners can reach us fast, efficiently, and be able to speak with senior management. But that is not done yet. But in the meantime, the temporary solution and perhaps the long-term solution as a culture of communication is to pick up the phone and just make that call. All right. So let's go on to the next slide then, and we'll talk about some of the other things that are important. So of course, we're in a transition period. During the pandemic, there was not too many reasons to call partners because we didn't have very urgent situations. Guests would stay for 3 months, 6 months at a time. And so during those times, what could actually happen that requires an urgent phone call? But now we get phone calls and we need to take them seriously. So this is our new policy. And Bayu and I have talked about, we want to roll this out starting from today. So what this is going to do is we're going to reduce WhatsApp. If you're in business intelligence and you have business to speak about with a potential partner, if you're a community manager and you have business to speak about with a partner, do not use WhatsApp. Please conduct this over a phone or a video call first, okay? If you're not able to reach a partner, then a written report is the best solution. Please do not WhatsApp them. Just email them and notify them on WhatsApp or a voice message that you have sent a written report about the situation, okay? No more of these back and forth WhatsApp communication. WhatsApp is only for messaging, not for dialogue, all right? So let's move to that as a stronger policy. As a reminder, we have other policies that I'd like to celebrate now that we're taking a look. We released this policy last week, and this policy is working fantastic. Guests will get a welcome message, and it will direct them to our guest portal at the time of booking to simplify critical information. Most of this has been automated already. I think we still have some cases that are being developed through the strategic partner prioritization where we're not automating messages, but this policy has been working fantastic. All right, next slide. The next policy, just to remind everybody, is this. When you see suspicious booking calendar activity from a partner, like the partner is actually using more than their allocation, they are essentially taking their own guests, they are circumventing our service, everybody here now has the authority to stop, tell the partner that their calendar has been effectively blocked, and this problem will be handled by Nadine on the business development team, okay? So whenever we see that the partner relationship is failing due to a non-alignment to the contract, please raise this issue, shut off the partner's calendar, and raise this issue to Nadine. We've done this over the past week, and although it's been a source of a little bit of conflict, we've been able to listen to partners much, much earlier before they've lost faith and trust in our services. So this is beginning to also show really good promise as a policy. And as such, it also improves our likelihood to gain market share. And as such, it also improves the ability for us to communicate well, professionally, in a timely way, so that we can stop partners from distrusting us, okay? Next policy, please. Next policy is, this part has been working really well. Gunny's been telling me that we have now reverted back to using content requests. Content and the awareness team have been recently doing a fantastic job, but they have many, many jobs at this moment. So if you need a particular listing to be changed, or if you need a content update, please use the Tech Expander content request, and then that way the content team can prioritize your work accordingly. Okay, so this policy has been working also very well to coordinate teamwork. Next one. Okay, next policy is that, all right, this is already working out for the new batch of new employees here. We've got some fine people coming from the University of Indonesia this week who are joining us from backgrounds as computer science, data science, and customer service. No matter what your background, your first 3 weeks at Bukit Vista will be done in operations. Operations is vital to understand how to create better data visualizations how to create better products, how to create better customer service, and just really how to inspire delight. This is where the inspire delight actually happens. So now this is an essential part of all new employee experiences. All right, next, this is an old policy, but just as a reminder, Bukit Vista will not WhatsApp partners about check-in times. This is back to this idea of conducting business through business. In check-in times, we already have the guest portal, which is our tool to inform partners about their check-in time. They can understand the guest check-in time simply by opening the BVGo application, looking at the check-in time, and then understanding as such. Check-ins that happen after 2 should just be automatically delegated to self-check-in. SPP is working on that. Of course, we don't have entire fluency on self-check-in at the moment, but this is the default meaning of the brand. At Bukit Vista, all guests should be able to have a successful check-in, if not through a person waiting on site, then by their own efforts, okay? We live in 2022. Self-check-in should not be that exciting of a new technology. It's a fairly standard practice everywhere else. Okay, let's go over to the next slide. Let's talk about some good stuff, all right? So it's not all bad news. There's some good things happening, and I have taken notice of it. So what is the strengths? Well, first strength is we're doing well on revenue. We're already at 140,000 here now in June, and we're starting at, sorry, I actually got that wrong. I need to update that. We started at, we're already at 121,000. Vidi, yeah, sorry. Vidi's giving me a weird look there. I probably updated this a little bit late. Actually, wait, let me actually don't assume use data. Let's see where we're really at. I'm opening Data Vista on my side. And Vidi, if I'm not wrong, we are at 140 for June, and we're at 121 for July. Is that correct? Over to Vidi. Okay, good. All right, 140,000 in June, 121 in July. 121 will probably be one of the highest starting points we've ever had for a future month. So the revenue part of our picture looks really good. To the next slide. That's a strength. The next strength. Our check-ins are really good right now in aggregate. We're at 83.6% 5-star reviews for check-ins and growing. So the check-in quality is getting better. And I think that's thanks to the work that SPP and automation and making sure that all the check-in information arrives beforehand to guests is actually coming in time. So check-ins, we're doing good at. All right, team management. Let's talk about some team management principles that have been working in our favor. 1, SPP has been working very well. I know sometimes we've seen in the awareness chapter that some of the work becomes routine, but we are actually focusing on the correct things that actually inspire guest delight. In the previous check-in photo shows, we're actually able to move the needle and inspire guests to actually have a better experience. So this is a team management solution that has been working very well. Next slide. The synchronized work calendar has been happening for the past month, and we've seen a lot of good issues with a lot of good benefits from this. 1, it simplifies the delegation for supervisors. Supervisors and leaders don't need to think about where to put their team members. The team members themselves can just follow the supervision or follow the work schedule. The other thing is that we've become available at any time to synchronize really quickly to fix problems. I've seen problems that used to take months get solved in just a few hours now because we know where everybody is and we can synchronize our work. This is another really good team management solution. Next. The next innovation that we're having is, of course, we have shift calendars for all those who are working in operations. This is something I'm sure that all Vistans and Visterns will experience in their experience here at Bukit Vista because everybody will go through operations. And this calendar planning allows us to know precisely who is covering what particular channel, what particular funnel area, and which particular day. It's very efficient and allows us to have full confidence that we can trust our teammates to be in the place that they are supposed to be and covering the channels that they're supposed to cover. So another really good innovation that we've been putting in to simplify and extend team management. Okay, next. There's also good things. So tomorrow I'll issue an announcement for a new type of bonus reward for peak season. So this will be issued on September 5th after the official end of peak season. And we'll think of ways to reward everyone for achieving higher and higher revenue targets, okay? In addition to pay raise and also the individual performance bonuses. Okay, next slide. Let's talk about our brand. What is our brand starting to look like now? So here's a few things I'd like to talk about. All right, I'm going to read everybody the past few reviews because I think this is pretty important, and just kind of like hang with us. So this is what our brand looks like to guests. Okay, this is Eunice. Eunice said the guest house is fine, but the check-in was quite a hassle. The management by Bukit Vista is not particularly a satisfying one. I was even placed in another guest house before checking in at the supposed guest house. They did provide compensation. Okay, so somehow I've noticed for some funny reason, people mention Bukit Vista when they have something to complain about, but they don't mention Bukit Vista when they have a 5-star review. Something maybe we need to think about from a PR point of view. Okay, next one to Manisha. Manisha gave us an overall 5-star check-in review, but an overall quality of 4 stars. She said it was a nice day, it was comfortable, and a small room. Catherine gave us a 5 stars on check-in, overall qualities of 4. She called it a nice bungalow with 3 nice bars within walking distance. Only 1 towel available, and the host was hesitant to give us fresh towels, which weren't clean. There's no hand towel or fridge to store water. Other than that, it was a lovely place and steps to the sea to swim. Lovely view for sunset. Okay, next over to Anna. Anna gave us a 5 and 5. I can fully recommend this Airbnb. It's in the center of Canggu. It's quiet on a side road, clean, nice outside area and pool. Enough space and air conditioning in the room. Also friendly staff who helped in renting a scooter without any issues. Next, over to Lauren. Lauren gave us a 5 and 5. Said it was an amazing place with friendly people. Next, over on the other side, let's see what people said about Bukit Vista and our company. 5 and 5. Sleeping and living directly at a relatively private surface beach is beautiful. At the beach, you can find a lot of delicious food, such as fresh fish. We also went exploring Uluwatu area by booking a Grab driver. We love the place, but you really need to be fit and sporty. This is probably somewhere in Bingen, where you have to climb the stairs. Next, Benjamin gave us a 5 and 5. He said everything was amazing. The room, the cleaning service, the pool, especially the warm, welcoming staff. That is great. He stayed for a month. Next, to Bethany. Bethany gave us a 5 and 5. Said so amazing. Thank you. We will be back. Hopefully next time she mentions Bukit Vista, but so far I'll just take that as the best that we can have for now. Next, to Mitchell. 5 and 5. Very cool little place. It's secluded and peaceful. Enjoyed the stay very much, but definitely recommend staying here. Hey, there it is. Congratulations, everybody. We have a guest that mentioned our brand. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Bukit Vista hosting team made it super easy to check in, and there was good communication. All right, last one from Steven. Steven gave us a 5 and 4. Said it's in a very good small part of town for a very good price. Okay, so that is what our brand looks like from the 10 most recent reviews that we have. Next, over to the next slide. All right, what about our network? Well, I've got some flattering news. We have been asked to actually teach at UGM now. So as part of the MBKN program, Ibu Wiwi, who is the dean, I believe, of the tourism faculty over there, has actually nominated us to be an expert industry partner. So we will essentially be giving lectures and speaking about tourism and the future of hospitality at one of the greatest universities in Indonesia, and that is pretty awesome. So anyways, that's some good news about expanding our network. And of course, we're also over at ITB giving internship opportunities and expanding our network over there as well. Okay, cool. Next, what can you do? What can you do as a Vistan this week in order to move the needle forward? What can you do? So think about how to promote our brand. Our brand is essentially a reflection of our decisions, our policies, the little bits of work that all add up to create what the brand actually stands for. Everybody here has impact to the brand. Think about how to promote the brand and make it part of your own story. Next slide. Think about how actually we can grow market share through work that inspires guest partners and your team. And how do we actually know that work is doing the right thing? Because, next slide. Because you know when you can build the world-class brand through actions that, next slide, our guests feel inspired and delighted, our partners feel inspired and delighted, we feel inspired and delighted. Okay, that's it. Turning it back to Gani for continuation.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jing, for the vision or mission statement. And now I turn to Jessica for the moderate this all hands.
Thank you, Kagani, and thank you, Mr. Jing, for your wonderful presentation, for giving us updates on where our company is at right now. And now I invite Katendi first to deliver our weekly mission inspiration from the guest class.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this first is 7. I think there is a miscommunication because I think also this is the 5 fast from Eka as well because I think Eka on the training and then Wayana and Bliketo also help involved on this case. So there is a guest that arrived from the Indo Uluwatu and then it should be on the Canggu, so wrong address, but I called the guest and then explain everything and then apologize with the guest. In the beginning, the guest is very mad and then angry, but it turns out that we have for the driver give the compensation, and I ordered the pizza for the guest when she arrived in the Canggu, and then in there also beli ketut is there, and I call beli ketut to meet the guest just to talk while the guest waiting for the what's called while I order the pizza for the guest. So and then in terms on that, I call the guest, and then yeah, they very appreciate about our professionality, and then yeah, it turns like they did not complain anymore about that. Thank you.
Okay, hey Tendi, on behalf of the company, I'd like to apologize. It was actually Eka who I put on the trials a little bit earlier to help with reservations that made that mistake. Eka, would you like to say anything to Tendi?
Thank you, Tendi, for covering me. My bad.
No worries, Eka.
Okay, all right.
I'll pass.
It's my bad too. I probably should have been supervising Eka a little bit more closely. We do need help on reservations, but thank you very much, Tendi, for covering this. This is definitely something Eka will remember, I'm sure. Okay, all right.
Okay,
Okay.
over to Katani again for partner.
Okay, thank you, Jess. Yeah, I think that this is for the onboarding for the food board. Yeah, over the 2 weeks, we prepare the villa that has abandoned for 2 years during the COVID, and then yeah, we send like technician, everything. So it turns like now it's ready for the guests, and then just need to photo shoot and then make the listing like that. Yeah, that's before and after.
Oh wow, what a contrast.
So, Katendi, there's a question from Kara. Which villa is that?
Miracle.
Ah, okay, I see. So as always, Katendi is doing very inspirational work. Thank you, Katendi. Now we'll move on to Kashelin for to deliver our employee weekly inspiration.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jessica. So, good morning, everyone. So, this one is actually from Garrett for Google Ads for hiring. So, Garrett introduced this MVP for hiring employees through Google Ads. It's actually still currently ongoing, see, from 6th until 20th of June. So far, it has resulted in 1 applicant. Well, for now, we'll have to see if this method is to be continued or not. So, I believe this is something worth to try, as we haven't tried like for employee awareness, like using this method, especially for Google Ads. And in the next picture, this is actually like something I just knew like from Garrett as well. So in Google Forms, you can actually like put like a pictures to make it clear for like future applicants so that they can like relate to like what kind of distribution post that they actually like knew us from. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. Back to Jessica.
Thanks, Kashelin. And I see that you're in Bali. I hope you enjoy your time there. Okay. We'll move on. I guess there's nothing else in the weekly mission inspiration. We now move on to the company theme, target and achievements. I'll pass it on to Kara.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Good morning, everyone. So let's go over next to my inspection of the week. Couple of things that I've been noticing. This is pretty interesting, and I want everyone to keep an eye and help me to inspect if there's any of you that object or see any other insights regarding each of the inspections. First, about the SPP. So for the SPP, it's been done better this week, but I believe that it was not optimal yet. Multiple cases that has been seen is that there were an unclear internal team communications and reporting, lack of execution discipline, executions not being done timely, and unclear project planning. So this part, I've worked together with Cinta and Bella this past few days to do some actionable. First, assign Cinta as my fellow inspector, which I already did, and then second, set up daily stand-up for planning ahead and reporting results. I believe that the team will actually see the result. And then the third, lines on each of the SPP projects. So heads up to everyone, executor, inspector of the SPP, please pay attention on the new changes that we have. Second, shift arrangement. This is also not optimal. This flaws also reflected this morning on the morning briefing today on the guest squad, We have the system developed, but the adoption of the team underlying on the system is still lacking. Couple of actionables. I hope that Tandy and Nadine can take a look at this and adopt well, better, and have a better communication and coordinations with HR, especially for the new person coming in the future. Okay, and then the third part on the new employee orientations, I would say this mentioned also by Mr. Jing earlier about our policy where new employee will work on guest squad for the first 3 weeks. And I said bad because first, there's no clear communication between HR and the leaders on the guest squad. So leaders are not aware on who should attend meeting, shift, and who should not. So second, friction on the visibility of new person coming in. These things have been mentioned. I hope Shailene championing this from the employee squad will actually see the actionable and discuss, consult, coordinate with the leaders on the guest squad better in the future. The next one about failed check-in. This is not just soft check-in, but check-in in general. I would say this is not optimal. Yes, we actually already have a good graph so far as a bigger picture, but after actually investigate deeper and dig deeper about how exactly on day-to-day activities and check-in one by one, there are still few things that is actually lacking. If you, later on, you guys can please click on the link that I already attached later, nggak apa-apa, silakan inspect one by one about the failed check-in that we have so far. So a couple of things that is not optimal. First, failed check-in for current and future booking is still tracked and keep on increasing instead of decreasing. Ideally, it should be 0, right, for the failed check-in, but we still see it keep on add up for the failed check-in in the future. Second, since we didn't have night shift, few cases on late check-in with self check-in method didn't run smoothly. Recently, there is a little bit changes because Chandra is currently doing a night shift, but this needs to be discussed further for a more sustainable system in the future. The third one, this also, of course, produces few of lower star review. So remember, even though the graph is good, doesn't mean that it cannot get better, right? So this is, I'm mentioning this to the team to actually having a better performance in the future. Okay, the last part of the inspections is about partnership, relationship, and communications. I would say this is bad. I experienced myself. I believe the others also experience in terms of group and even individually. For example, in the group, I can say this is lack of communications because every time we inspect on the SPP, most of the dependency and frictions is actually on the partner. So many of our team reported, oh yeah, it's because the partner is not responding. It's because of the partner didn't pick up the call. It is because of the partner that didn't tell us and so on and so on. So again, this is probably the communications on both sides needs to be refined. And this also relates to probably lack of hospitality on our side. So there is always action reaction. So we need to actually drill on why exactly the partner behaving so. So me myself, I experienced the same. I inspect randomly to the partners on like, let's say I want to book a property for a long run, long-term rentals. I asked since last weekend, didn't get any response until today from the owners. That's me as the part of the Bukit Vista team. So imagine as a guest, that's going to be worse then because there is no relations and so on, right? So that part, I already put a couple of actionables, especially to Tandy on the partnership squad. And maybe also for the tools issue, maybe Mr. Jing later on can discuss with Bayu to fix the channel communication with the owner. Okay, that's pretty much the inspection for the week. And then the target, as we know, for June, we have 165,000 as part of our target. And then for review overall ratings, 4.5 minimum, and 5-star rating is 75%. Let's see what is our opportunity so far. So this week, I'd like to recognize Jessica. Thank you for gathering this data for this week that we actually focus on seeing the travel trends data. Well, from the internal data that we are successfully gather is that first few effects that maybe you guys can see and put this as part of the inspirations on what changes and improvement that can be done. First, most of the booking size are currently for 2 guests. Length of stay, mostly 1 until 3 days, and guests got origin first and second still Germany and Australia, but the third was still local tourists that is mostly occupied our property. So these facts, I hope that can be used that not abandon the local tourists because they're still on the top 3 major of our guests. the external data that we gather, the new Omicron variant has entered Indonesia. And I also read the other day that Luhut also said that COVID cases are actually a little bit increasing, but the cases count hasn't spiked up that much again. And PPKM is actually back until the 4th of July, although it's in the level 1 for now. Okay, so that's heads up. And then speaking of the achievement, this also been brought up by Mr. Jing earlier, that revenue achieved so far is 141,878 USD per today. And this means that to achieve our revenue target, we're still having 23,000 around remaining. And for the second target that we have for overall rating, so far we achieved good, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't do anything, because it can be go up and down, right? So it depends on how well we maintain the overall ratings later on. And for the 5-star ratings, still underachieved, because as I mentioned previously, we have 75%, and right now we still have 71 around. Okay, so the last part about the achievement. Sadly, we have not achieved this week's target. We are lacking 2% only, which is weekly sales. For the second week, the target is 22,000, and we achieved 21,000 almost, so only like 2% lacking. Thank you, Jessica, for gathering this data also with me. Okay, that's pretty much the update from my side. I'd like to get it back to you, to the host.
Thanks, Kara, for updating on our company, the state of where we're at, and also for the inspection. Next, we're moving on to the promotion. I believe we have one, and I'll call up Kashilin for this.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, it's back to me again. Okay, I think I announced it on like Slack channel previously, but I just announced it again. So we have Bukit Vista, who is officially onboarded as our guest experience supervisor. So Bukit Vista is actually like our first ever
Thank you.
Position. Hi Bukit Vista. Okay.
Hello. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Bukit Vista. Oh, everyone, unmic and just show some love to Bukit Vista. Yeah, don't stay mute there. When somebody is added to the team, let's show them some love.
Thank you. You are where I am now? In front of Indomaret.
I don't know which one is Bukit. So can you open your camera?
Turn on your video. Let everyone see you.
Yeah.
There he is.
You know where I am?
You're at the Bengkel.
No, Indomaret. Indomaret.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Go ahead, Shailan. Yeah.
Okay.
Close with the base office.
Oh, okay. We'll see you here in base soon then. Yeah.
See you. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Bukit Vista, and I'll pass it back to Jessica.
Okay, thanks, Kashilin, and welcome to Bukit Vista. Next, we have the squad main achievements. I believe we have one from partnership squad. I'll call up Kalilis for this.
Okay, thank you very much, Jessica. So for partnership funnel, the most activity is actually about the partner empowerment. But if asking about achievement, I think that's good. Of the BV Go adoption that is improving, that help the self check-in process. It's just the beginning, but that's a good beginning actually. And second one, a secondary, is actually the self check-in implementation, where we also integrated into the content in Airbnb, and also the messaging through the automation in the Airbnb chat. Thank you very much, Jess. Back to you.
Thanks, Kalilis. Next, we have again Kashilin.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. So as announced just now, we are hiring like Bukit Vista as our first guest experience supervisor in Bali, especially. And I think this is worth mentioning as well, even though it hasn't like shown any result. But we have submitted our proposal for the Campus Merdeka Batch 3 program. So yeah, fingers crossed ya guys. Semoga kita lolos. Thank you.
All right.
All right, moving on, we have our core value recognition. I'll call up first Isabella. Isabella here to recognize Katendi and Kachandra.
Yes, I would like say thank you to Katendi because yesterday my first case handling overbooking. Thank you so much to Katendi and also Kachandra to lead me along the way. I love you both so much. Thank you guys.
Wow. Okay, thanks to Isabella. Next we have Erica. Erica here. I believe she's not attending, so I'll read for her. Erica would like to recognize Mo Wayana for the core value of being the hero and details matter. I appreciate Mo Wayana so much for being whenever we need her to inspect properties or do an offline pitching. It is inspiring delight to work with someone so reliable. She also pays attention to details whenever she's going to do pitching. That improves a lot and inspires me to be more aware and to be more prepared while doing my job. No, sat means being responsive. Okay.
I think we can adopt that as a good meme now for partner communication. Yeah. Sat, set, sat, set.
Sat.
Okay, that mantap. Yeah, thanks
Nice action.
thanks Erica. Move on to Tia. Is Tia here?
Okay, so I would like to recognize Isabella for always having curiosity and bravery to actually solving problems. So she always brave to ask what should she do to
Yeah,
solve the
thanks.
problem. Thank you,
Okay,
Isabella.
thank you, Tia. And thank you, Isabella, for stepping on toes. Next, we have Kashelin.
Okay, back to me again. Okay, so yeah, this is actually a recognition to Alia. So Alia, like the past few weeks, has been helping me a lot with the MBKM batch proposal submissions, from like preparing the details of the proposals, like about the roles, as well as the submission itself. So I'd like to recognize Alia for help others. Thank you.
Very nice. Thanks, Kashelin and Alia. Next, we have, I think, one more from Kara.
Okay, so this is from me to my fellow Gemini, Cinta. So it's not that bad after all ya, Gemini kan bagus nih. So I like to recognize her for help others to help themselves and be the hero. So I've been assigning Cinta to work together with me and Bella, inspecting the performance of SPP, right? And it's a little bit outside of my expectation that she is able to work in details on the inspection. So she come up with list on which is matching with mine, so aligned. So what exactly I said, she's actually write down in a very details that this is lacking on the SPP. So came up with this list of improvement and shared it in the team yesterday. So keep your eye sharp.
Thanks, Kara. And you guys are like the best Geminis that I know. So let's move on now. I think there's nothing here. The last update was in May, so we move on really quick with the personal updates. Yes. Okay, so for today's personal update,
Sorry, Jessica. I think for the AS, like there is a report like from the from the previous update from Alia.
okay, so let's maybe it's not here or
Okay, Alia is not here, so okay, I'll just like read a quick one there for this. Okay, you can go to the April one first, yeah, Gani in this case. So there were actually like 3 topics, yeah, I believe for April, and the results is actually like attached there as well. Somehow, okay, like the very first one is actually the checklist is basically done, and like the results is attached over there. And for the NewsCon meeting format, it's currently like still being followed up. We expect to see improvements within this month. And okay, I think the other one is actually like for employee journals, it's already like updated in these guidelines, and the link is there as well. And Gani boleh bantu scroll ke atas for the May 2022. So in the previous CES, if you guys still remember, we asked about 3 things, right? Basically about tools adoption as well as inspection for the overall monthly performance, right, in this case. And to keep it simple, so the answers are basically over there for the guidelines. How is it like? Is it actually like well understood? And then like what are the action plans that we are going to take for each one of these topics itself. So yeah, I think you guys can also like have a further understanding, and then like expect to see further improvements in the next coming month in the next report. Thank you. Back to Jessica.
Thanks for sharing. Now we move on to the personal updates. And please kindly only read your biggest personal growth for this week. And if you're not here, I'll have it.
Okay. This one I actually reflected a lot. I learned that Indonesia isn't a perfect place, but neither is any other place in the world. Be happy where you are because that's exactly where you need to be.
Absolutely right, Mr. Jing. Agree. Okay. Next, our host.
Okay, so lately I can see the character of person when facing a routine work. So is he creative or like a engine factory person? Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Okay, thanks, Kagani. Next, we have Pawe.
Yeah, just I keep realizing that learning will never stop. It's a part of life. Thank you.
Thanks, Alvin. Next, I'll read for Jocelyn. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. Don't be afraid to say that you cannot handle more when you are already at your max capacity. Absolutely right. We need to take time for ourselves as well. So yes, next we have Reza.
Yes, doing this thesis is tiring, yeah. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Reza. Now we have Sharon. There's always people that are way better than you, so stop being so insecure and living other people's lives. Be yourself, guys. Next, we have Kanadine. I think she's here, right? Or yeah, so I'll read for her. Don't confuse a bad feeling for a bad life. Okay, next we have Mawayana. Would you like to read?
For me, it's simple. Like happy to see like everyone come to Bali to base because been like years like working remotely.
Look at all of us, yeah.
And Vidi, Nadia, and Celine went to Bali and
Vinny left Bali as soon as I came.
yeah,
He was like, let me try to avoid Jing as much as I can. I'm on the first flight out. We probably like passed each other at the airport. He took my phone.
Okay, next we have Kasera.
Okay, so mine is never settle, even if it seems like you're super tired, but don't think that it's already like the limit. Remember that your body is very adjustable to situation.
It's like the opposite of the previous one.
Yeah, this is the opposite of content work before. So, okay, thanks, Kasera. Now we have Yoga.
Okay, for me, it's being a giver instead of taker to friends and families, and better on documenting a project. Thank you.
Thanks,
Let's
thank
do
you,
hospitality yoga.
Next we have Erica, being more responsible and satet. Oh, she really likes that phrase. When I have things to do, actually, because I have no time to procrastinate. That's nice. Okay, next we have Han.
For me, is becoming more calm and enjoying the dealing with situations that make me nervous.
Thanks,
you.
Han. Next we have Kara.
This is pretty personal, but I believe being in a healthy relationship will enhance and develop you exponentially in the way you never imagined before. So I'll encourage you to throw your toxic relationship into a healthy one.
Like working here at Bukit Vista, right?
Wow, okay, I very much agreed. Next we have Katendi.
Okay, innovate travel tips information with the HR team and interns. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next we have Shalin.
Okay, from my side, it's basically to ask and like basically you can get like all the answers you want. Thank you.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay, thanks. Now we have Tia. Tia is here, right?
Okay, sorry, I forgot to update the attendance. So my biggest personal growth for this week is I maintain my healthy in this uncertain weather by eating clean food. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tia. Now we have next Isabella.
Yes, my biggest personal growth is learning that acceptance is the major key of life. Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Isabella. Next we have Fian.
Okay, for me, so being the oldest in the family, part of your family burdens is
That's
also yours. So become the bigger person is not a choice; it's a necessity.
Thanks, Jan. I relate. Okay, I'll read for Alia. I feel like this month is really testing my capacity to be able to balance university tasks, individual and group, and also internship. And next we have Giselle. Giselle, are you here?
Yeah,
Okay.
maintaining composure even in stressful situations. Thank you.
Thanks, Giselle. Okay, moving on to PD chapter, we have Kabayu.
For me, being creative sometimes need time to do something. Other times needs to do nothing at all.
Thanks, Kabayu. Okay, pass it on to Abam.
Okay, from me, become more better at managing my money.
Thanks, Abam. Next, I'll read for Vito. Time management is one of the most important skills to have. Now I'm trying my best to have everything under control. Yep. Okay. Then we move on to William.
From me, I realized that problems are scarier in your head, and it's almost always better to just face it instead of worrying about it.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks, William. Okay, now we call up Lilis.
Thank you, Jess. I think
Wait, don't be white.
Lilith,
I
the
think
question of the week. The question of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's my answer for question of the week. For bigger personal growth, more confident in being quality control by doing random inspection. Actually, thank you.
Pada salah fokus ya. Okay, thanks Kak Lilis. We have Ofidi. Okay, thanks Ofidi. Next we have, I'll read for Bella. Is to focus, do some tasks based on to-do list priority. Okay, so prioritization is important. Next, on my side, I successfully did a 1 week detox program last week, despite of being a big foodie. Like, yeah, so it was hard to resist, but yeah. And next we have Cinta.
Oh, okay, thank you, Jessica. So the biggest personal growth from my side is having progress at laporan akhir MBKM because I only have 1 week left, and being more confident and brave, being more care with my skin health, and then the last thing, doing makeup, especially make an eyebrow and eyeliner. Thank
I'm
you.
seeing it. I see it.
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Keep growing, Cinta.
Cinta Beauty Vlogger 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next, I'll call up Lila for her personal update.
Yes, thank you. My biggest personal growth, being able to motivate more and better time management. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Lila. And last but not least is Farhan.
Okay, increase knowledge and experience in working in environment that support technology in daily activities.
Okay, thanks, Farhan. And thanks, everyone, for all the personal updates. Sure, we do have one announcement from Kaara.
Okay, so for my side, it's just a heads up for everyone that for as usually every 3 months we're gonna have one-on-one, and this month we're going to have employee one-on-one also, which will be conducted from 14th to 22nd of June. So everyone, please be prepared and check out your Google Calendar if the HR come up to you to schedule a one-on-one session with you.
Okay, can't wait for my session. Thanks, Sarah, for the announcement. And with that, I think it concludes our all hands today. Are there any other announcements from Mr. Jing, perhaps?
No, I think this is great. We're going to take this time now that we have a lot of the team back in Bali to try to get the company ultra prepared. So this is really exciting for me. But for everybody who's new here, Bukit Vista is a one-of-a-kind company. I hope you guys will enjoy the experience of interning or working here full time. So please think about how to inspire delight. Think about the brand power that you have behind you, and go out and make things happen. The world is your oyster, so transform it positively. All right, see you guys. Have a great week ahead.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
all.
See you
Have
next week.
a great week.
Have a great
And
week.
next time, turn on your cameras.
Thank you.
All right, see you.